As African, we do need a common language for ourselves.
Who is Imani?
We want Kiswahili language to be included in Ethiopian schools. When it comes to the leaders, they all have degrees. Look what we have on ground. Things are not moving well.
What's your passion?
Why we African cannot choose one among these 3,000 languages, we use as unified tool to bring our development, to shape our ideas. You cannot do trade with people who you cannot communicate with. My passion is to see Black people free. At least every Black person globally be able to eat one time by day.
In what ways has Haitian culture impacted African American and global Black cultures?
You cannot develop Africa by using non-African language.
Good afternoon. This is your Pan-African show called AfreeQa with your host Qetselawork Seifu. Yet again, we come back to you with a great guest. Thank you for coming to our studio.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
If you could please introduce yourself.
My name is Imani Yohani Paulo. I'm a global Black nationalist. I used to introduce myself as a Pan-African, but I stopped because I found out that pan is not an African word, but it's a Greek word, means an ancient Greek god, Pan. So I don't subscribe to Greek culture anymore, but I do support the ideology of Pan-Africa. That's why I just say I'm a Black nationalist or global Black nationalist. And what am I doing in Ethiopia? I am a Swahili advocate for Africa, and specifically now in Ethiopia. We want Kiswahili language to be included in Ethiopian schools from primary school to universities. Kiswahili have to be taught. I think a lot of Ethiopians and Africans know about Kiswahili language. So Kiswahili is the most spoken language in Africa by many people and by many countries. Countries like Namibia, Botswana, South Africa, they adopted Kiswahili in 2020. And 2023, countries like Colombia in South America also adopted Kiswahili. So we want Ethiopian government to include Kiswahili in Ethiopia.
Beautiful. So we hope we do.
Yeah,
That's all I can say, right, at this point.
It's very important because you cannot develop Africa by using non-African language. You can also not unite people unless there is a language. There is what they call African Continental Free Trade Area, which I hope you guys have heard about. You cannot do trade with people who you cannot communicate with. So almost every area you go as African, we do need a common language for ourselves.
Brilliant. Who is Imani? Where are you from? What's your passion?
Where I'm from, of course, I'm from Africa. That's my pure identity. Everywhere I have lived, I always tell people I'm from Africa, and that's who I am. I grew up in Tanzania. Of course, I lived in America for almost 14 years. And my passion is actually to see Black people free. At least if we can get every Black person globally be able to eat one time by day. We don't ask too much. We just want to make sure that our Black people can eat one time by day. That is my passion. That's something that I'm very strong on, and I believe that will happen. Now, that cannot easily happen because there is so many obstacles. The first obstacle is the division between ourselves. We share common identity as Black people globally. There is no question about that. We are treated the same anywhere you go, either in India, either in the Middle East, either in Europe, either in American continent. We Black people, we are treated the same way. So we have a common problem or struggle. But if we don't unite, we cannot reach to the extent of having one meal by day. A lot of people are dying hungry, by the way. Yes. I think a lot of people don't know about this, but that's true as a fact.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, even though we have so much resources, but still our people are dying hungry. So that is my passion, that eventually we should have every Black person be able to eat at least one time by day. Those who want to eat more, no problem.
But at least one meal.
Yeah, at least, because you're not going to die if you eat one meal by day. Yeah.
Exactly. Beautiful. So I'm going to ask you a few questions on Kiswahili, because that is actually what brought you to Ethiopia. So I would like to ask you, in what ways can Kiswahili serve as a bridge for cultural and linguistic unity among the global Black diaspora?
Culturally, I think that Kiswahili, as you may know, if you don't know, is a Bantu language. Bantu is very new, so it does not give you the really original of people who are called Bantu, but it's a Bantu language. And then it's also mixed with Semitic languages, what they call Afro-Asiatic languages. So for the culture, the language serves in combining those groups of people, Afro-Asiatic languages together with the Bantu languages, and they make a very good combination, that interaction that makes whole Africa actually, or Black people generally, because even those who are in diaspora, they all came from Bantu people. So it makes us to be one family. That's the culture aspect of it. When it comes to the role that Kiswahili can play, especially when it comes to peace and development, Kiswahili served as the key to the unity of Tanzania, which is the only country in Africa, by the way, that is two countries united. Tanganyika and Zanzibar. Zanzibar is a little or long older country. Tanganyika is combination of so many kingdoms, more than maybe 100 ethnics. So they become one country, and then now we have two countries separated and peaceful, living peaceful with 123 ethnics. So Kiswahili is the key to drive that unity and the feeling that they are one person. Even though they have different background, there is religion also division in United Republic of Tanzania. More than they used to be like 55% were Muslim. I don't know where they are now. The other ones are from different religions like Catholic, Anglican, Pentecostal churches and things like that. But still at the end of the day, Tanzania have a peace. So that is, for instance, for the part of like African America, for instance, I think since you've been in America, you would understand what they call Kwanzaa in terms of culture as well. Kwanzaa is a Kiswahili word meaning the first. So it's symbolizing the first fruit. People like Dr. Maulana Kaleng and other people, almost everyone who Pan-African who came before us, they always insist on Kiswahili language. These people like Dr. Abdul Karim Muhammad, most of Pan-African, Malcolm X as well. So they choose Kiswahili to be the leading in terms of bringing people together, but also bringing the culture of African together. Even though these people, they were taken from West Africa for slavery time, at the end of the day, because they are Bantu, so they found Kiswahili to be, to connect to them. Like I say, Kwanzaa, the 7 pillars of Kwanzaa, they are all in Kiswahili. The last one is Imani, which is my name as well, means faith or belief. There is Kujichagulia, which means to choose for yourself. There is Nia, which means the reason. So all those show how Kiswahili is connecting African from here in Africa or to diaspora. But you can see most of historical Black colleges and universities in America, they also do teach Kiswahili. Most of them, they do teach Kiswahili. As I said, Colombia, they are adopting Kiswahili. Cuba as well, the Black people there, they are adopting Kiswahili. So Kiswahili it can play a very good role because it's growing in Africa. It's not colonial language, that's number one. Number two, is not ethnic language, so no ethnic claim Kiswahili language. It's neutral completely to African ethnic conflicts. Dr. Umar Johnson, he's a Pan-African from America. He said that the biggest African people we have as Black people is ethnic conflicts. So Kiswahili can completely dissolve those conflicts in very easy way. So that is why I think Kiswahili can help us. Any country in Africa either is facing religious issues, is facing ethnic issues, or any other issue may come around in region issues, Kiswahili can serve as the tool to end those conflicts.
Wow. I want to ask one question. When they changed, or was it changed from Swahili to Kiswahili? How did that transition happen? Why did that transition happen?
Well, it was not changed, it's still the same.
It was always there.
Yeah, so people who are foreigners, we call them Muzungu, which means white people. They say Swahili. Either they are French, they are English speakers, they say Swahili. But we say Kiswahili. Ki is a symbol of language. So, for instance, if we talk about Ugandan language, we say Kiganda. If you talk about Kenyan, one of the ethnic Kenya, we say Kikuyu. If we talk about Amharic, we say Ki-Amharic or Ki-Oromo, Kifaransa. Kifaransa is French. Kingereza is English. So we always use the Ki for the language. But them, they don't want to say that, so they just say Swahili. So but it always has been like that. It's always
been there.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for clearing that one. How does the promotion of Kiswahili contribute to a shared identity and solidarity within the Black communities worldwide?
Kiswahili, it was adopted in Tanzania, the first country to adopt Kiswahili as unified language, but also in struggle of independence by Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere. Mwalimu means teacher. And then after that, he promoted Kiswahili. It was not common language in Tanzania as well. And then he promoted the language to unite people. After that, Kenya take that on. They adopt Kiswahili, put in schools. After that, Uganda did. And then Congo, Patrice Lumumba, he also included Kiswahili in Congo schools. A lot of people do not know this, by the way. There is more people speak Kiswahili in Congo than people speak Kiswahili in Kenya. So Congo, DRC, because it's a big country and it also have a lot of population, I think it's the fourth or the fifth country in Africa with big population. So there is a lot of people speak Swahili. But later on, it was adopted in East Africa community. And then in America, people picked that on. In Europe, people picked the Swahili on. So now it's going towards South Africa. And then it's coming, we are pushing towards Ethiopia as well. But also Ghana. During the time of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, he advocated Kiswahili. It was included in schools until today, actually in Accra, University of Ghana, and Ghanaian Broadcasting Corporation included Kiswahili. Here also in Ethiopia as well. The EBC, which is the Ethiopian Broadcasting Corporation, they had Kiswahili on radio, but later on they removed that.
You mean on TV or radio?
It was a radio that time.
It was radio?
Yeah, so that time there was no TV yet.
Oh, you mean back then?
Yeah.
Okay, so it would help us unify Africa is really what we're saying. Because
the Kiswahili, as I said, is very easy language and is feels so relating to any other language you speak in Africa. For instance, if someone say, I was saying like chai, you know, if you say chai, Ethiopian, they will know what you are talking about, or completely, or sahani, which is a plate you use to eat, you know, or misumari, or daftari, or what is that? So many things, minzani,
we have
or
the common
miskin, which is maskin in Swahili, or tujar, which is tajiri. So many things. So when someone break down for you, you start to feel like, hey, we are talking the same language. But the same thing when you go to people like from South Africa, Mlango means the door in Zulu language. So Mlima, means the mountain, is in Zulu language. So everyone has something there.
A few things that are common.
Yeah, so it does really make us to feel like we are at home in this language. I think that it will definitely help us. We cannot go on stage as African people with non-African language. We cannot have one voice as African people in non-African language, you know. It would not be a good idea. I don't think. We try, by the way. We try French. I don't know, back in days, if you remember, the elites, they were sending their children to study French. They send them to study at Oxford or Harvard and all of that. And now they are sending their children to China. We try, but it does not work. We have completely failed. We're not able to unite.
And our children
liberation
don't come back.
yeah. Our liberation is we're still looking down. We not developed. Africa is not developed even now, as I'm talking to you. Even though we have so many degrees, Africa is among the most of educated continent when it comes to the leaders. Our presidents and the prime ministers and the vice president and the generals, they all have degrees from somewhere, but look what we have on ground. Things are not moving well. So we try, it's not working. So we need to come back and look what they call Sankofa, to look back on ourselves and grow things from home. Chinese, they did. I don't know if you know this, in China there is more than 302 languages. A lot of people will think that when they say, oh, he speaks Chinese or she's speaking Chinese. No, it's called Mandarin. It's one of the 302 languages. Yes, but they choose the one. So why we African cannot choose one among these 3,000 languages, and then we use as unified tool to bring our development, to shape our ideas, to share our information, to share our feeling, to share our struggle, to share our happiness. Everyone look on us like we are one family. Trust me on this.
I know. Wherever you go, you're African.
You're African.
But
that's it. Nobody know if you are Ethiopian.
No.
Nobody know if you are from Mekere or you are from Diredawa or you are from Walega or from Nairobi or from Kisumu. Nobody know and nobody care. Really? You are from Africa, and even if you are born in Jamaica or if born in Haiti or somewhere in England, once you are black, you are just African. Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad you brought Haiti up. I've never really had the opportunity to discuss Haiti in a way where we here in Ethiopia or on the continent understand the Haitians. How do we even see the Haitians? You know what I mean? Because of the same way as how we see Jamaicans. So, in what ways has Haitian culture impacted African American and global black cultures?
First of all, the name Haiti is not the right way. It's called Haiti.
Haiti.
And it's from the indigenous people who are living in that area. They are called Taine, Taina people, who were wiped off by European colonizers before when they reached to the island in 14th century, in that area, 14th and 15th century. So it's called Haiti. So more than 95% of people who are living on Haiti or Haiti, they are black people who originate from West Africa. That means from the Congos, the Gabon, the Cameroons, Nigeria, Ghana, who were to Ivory Coast, to Senegal. So they were taken from that area to slavery. So they are black people. Obviously, when you look at them, you completely feel like you are in Africa. Now, some of them were taken from Sao Tome as well. Not that many, but they are. Now, before that time, before they were taken, do you want to know where they were come from before that? Because they were taken in that area, but they come from some other place before. People who are Bantu, the name Bantu is very new. In fact, it's around 18th century old. So it was not there before that. So who these people were called then? Why no one can go beyond that? Sometimes they say they are Niger-Congo languages. For instance, if I ask most of Ethiopian, they will tell you we speak Afro-Asiatic languages, which most of the time it will be this Amharic, Tigrinya, Afan-Oromo, Afar, Somali, all those are Afrotic languages, Afro-Asiatic languages, which they are descendants either of Shem or Ham, one of those two. Cushitic, they are from Ham, of course, because Cush is the son of Ham. That's background historical fact. And the same thing to Semitic languages, they are from Shem. So we know that. But when it comes to Bantu, nobody knows. The Bantu languages, which is the biggest family actually in Africa of language, from Senegal all the way to South Africa and to the east of Kenya and part of Ethiopia as well, they are Bantu people. So the people of Haiti were taken from West Africa, Bantu people. But before that, they originate from Israel actually. They are what they call the lost tribes of Israel, the 10 tribes of Israel. The king of Syria, he took them from Israel, and then when he left them, North Africa was already being occupied by either Egyptians or Put, which is Libyans, and the south little bit Ethiopians. So there was no other place for them to go. So most of them, they went to West Africa and they established there. Later on, the other ones from the South Kingdom who were taken by the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar, they went back to Israel. When they went back there on 7th century, 70 years actually, on Common Era, which is after Christ, the Roman destroyed the Jerusalem. They also joined the same people. They joined their own people, and they come to West Africa. They were the first one to build the kingdom of Ghana. That's why Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, he named his country Ghana, picking up the name from the kingdom of Ghana. But also later on, the kingdom of Ghana was invaded by the kingdom of Mali, or Mali Empire. And then after that, it comes, his name is San Ali. Also, they call the Za dynasty, which also were known as Songhai Kingdom. The Songhai Kingdom come and beat the kingdom of Mali. And then this is Zan Yamen. He came from Israel actually, and he passed by Ethiopia. The kingdom of Aksumites, they helped him, and then he joined his own people. So after that, people, the ones from those areas, they expanded. They went all the way to Morocco, and then they went all the way to Spain. I think you have heard about that African civilized Europe.
Now I found out that instead of Europe civilizing Africa, Africa has civilized Europe 2 times.
So they went over to Spain, and then during the Spanish Inquisition, because those guys were practicing Judaism, and then the Roman Catholic Empire and the religion, they did not want them to practice that religion, so they decided to do what they call Spanish Inquisition. But some of them, they decided to not leave the religion, and then they ran away to Portugal. And from there, I'm gonna give you short so that you understand who these people are. From there, the Roman Empire, they say, you have to send these people back or figure out, because they are creating a religion beside our religion, which is Roman Catholic. And then Portugal decided to found where they can put those people out, and then they bring them to San Tome in that island where most of people, of course, the Bantu people live there. And after that, the Spain and the Portugal, they decide to go on other continents to find where they can put these people out, so they can destroy them, their identity completely, because they have refused to leave their religion and they practice their culture. So they decide to go to the American continent. They send Columbus to found what they say he discovered American continent, but he did not discover, because there was already black people living the continent a long time before he came. But anyways, so he discovered a place and he come back. He took the one who were already have established the kingdom in West Africa, where the Songhai Kingdom, I think you know the capital city of Cameroon, right? It's called Yaoundé. It's not Yaoundé, it's Yahuda.
Yahuda.
Yes, it's Yahuda. So it's mispronounced because they're trying to hide some of our history anyways. But anyways, so they combine all of them together. One from San Tome, the one from all those, the Songhai Empire. They took all of them, they take them for slavery, and they take them to, they spread them all the way to the American continent. That's why they were dealing with them harshly to destroy them. So they have to lose their names, their languages, all the culture they practice. They were forced to eat pigs, all of that. So that is where the Haitian people actually came from. Now, so why is Haiti very key and important to black people history and revolution and culture, all of that. First of all, Haiti is a unique country globally. It's the only country that was established from the slavery rebellion. So slaves rebellion and defeat the slave owners and create a independence country. And also is the first country, a black country, to be independent. That was back in 1804. That is when it successfully declared to have its own constitution. The first constitution is called the Constitution of Jean-Jacques Dessalines. Is the first constitution, very clear and clean. I was reading the African constitution, it's a joke. Most of African constitutions, you cannot even guess if they are belong to African continent, you don't know. But this constitution says that, I think it's Article 12 somewhere, I don't remember exactly, but it said that any black person who will step on the islands will be completely free. Remember, this is the time when black people in America are in strong, very, very strong slavery. Black people in Brazil, strong slavery. Cuba, Panama. In Africa, this is the time when we have colonization going on. And the constitution said that any black person who step on this country will be completely free. So this motivated black people from all over the continent, American continent, to run to Haiti. So that is number. Number two, the language. There is what they call Haitian Creole, which is a mix of some Spanish, French, English language. This was the key to the liberation of Haiti because white folks, French people could not understand what they were saying. So the language is always key to drive any liberation you're looking for. There is no Adwa without Amharic because you could not defeat Italian unless there was means of communication. So language is always on front of anything you do. So they would get confused and then they were defeated. And remember, Haiti defeated France with Napoleon Bonaparte. This is the hero that they teach us in schools, that he was an amazing warrior, but they never tell us, I never learned this at school, that he was defeated by our own people in Haiti before anyone defeated him. So many black people left America, US today, and Mexico and Canada went over to Haiti to be free. Now, so another key important to the Haiti revolution was that when they beat France, because France was already engaged in fighting with, I think it was around the Senegal and the Gambia with British. They were engaged in a lot of fightings there. So France lost money because they were producing sugarcane there, cottons, so they lost the money. So what they did, France went corrupted. There was no money at all. So they decided to sell the land, the territory they own in America, or US today. So there's what they call Louisiana territory, which come from Canada over to New Orleans in South there. So they sell that to America, to US. The Americans to give them money to buy so that they can go and buy weapons. Now, if there was no Haitian revolution, America itself, United States of America, will not be the way it is today. Because the other territory, they took that from Spain, from what they call Spain, the Spanish War in Mexico, all those areas, the California, the Texas, those were on part of where it is Mexico. So they took that from there. Now, but when it comes to the territory itself, it made America to look the way it's look today. Otherwise, it will be the eastern part only. Or if France did not sell the territory, which I think, you know, the Dakotas, the Louisiana, I think Michigan is part of that too, to Alabama, all those, Missouri, all those were the France territories. And then they said that. So I think Americans, actually, anyone who lives in America should say thanks to Haiti instead to undermine them and look them down. So I think that is pretty much the law Haiti did. But also, without Haiti, you will not have Sylvester Williams from Trinidad. those they learn from Haiti. Without Haiti, we will not have Marcus Garvey. He also learned from Haiti. And if you don't have Marcus Garvey, obviously, you don't have Malcolm X. You will not have Malcolm X.
Goes.
Yeah, you will not have even those, anyone who talk about Pan-Africanism, you will not have that. In addition to that, even African independence will not have took place because Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, who studied in America, I believe in Lincoln University, he studied about Marcus Garvey, but also Haitian Revolution. So then he applied that exactly in Africa. So we will not be independent until today if it was not Haiti. Haiti is very key to our liberation.
Very true. What lessons can modern movements learn from Haiti's fight for independence?